I'm not on crypto yet, and this I believe in. This is going to be sensitive because it concerns money on bank accounts. The World Bank, situated, which I did not have a clue about, in Budapest, and I might here have found something on grounds of the previous videos of mine, having started off 4 days ago. Today is the, what do we have? I don't know. We have 2025. The 11th. Tomorrow is the 11th of March. So, this is the Liberty video that can be found, not really as of yet, yeah. There are videos of mine to be found upon giving in my full name. I always abbreviated Anne as A. Dot, so you will recognize Imke A. Westermann, but you search for Imke Anne Westermann. I did not change, I did not convert also just recently. I just stayed Protestant as ever. This is not unimportant because Hungary is a place that is influenced by, lastly, also by Turkish law, meaning historically by Islamic law, and there the last developed branch of those certain Islamic law schools. I wrote about that very short paragraphs, and I stopped at that level without alluding to any other hints taken of the Islamic culture. When having written the text, where was it? I think it was in the text, either list the significances or list, help me. It is about the second version of my so-called reconstruction of the core criminal complex. So it was written, it was started to be written very early on those lists. No, I know. Maybe you find those hints, yeah, Islamic culture, Islamic law, historic-wise, how it developed, school teaching-wise, in maybe also the list vocab. It is written with a K. I did that for a reason, because things, as I can show here, are being developed in Germany, which is nice. But if here things are under threat and people get blackmailed, or fear of being able to getting blackmailed, I got a problem. Me, I'm concerned very, very much, which, however, doesn't concern me any longer, because it's here on more important things than just a naked Jew's ass on a circumcised penis, recognizably me, and with a Jew's nose. That one produced upon a escalator accident when I was 7 or 8 in Hamburg. No, in Hamburg I was rescued. In Priya, it can also be seen and has to be regarded probably as a murder attempt. Done by my brother, though. He, as I, placed in certain surroundings and circumstances. So he's C. Riverty. This is one of the companies developed only upon the recent text writings, as late as early as 2022, I would assume. So people would gather here in Erfurt, I think, and were just working on the text they were receiving. Maybe my name was cancelled, but those in the knows of prior crime complexes concerning my person ought have recognized that it indeed could have been my text again. And they disregarded it. They also disregarded the bank formulation bunq.me/Imke Anne Westermann with a double N, when I warned and cued the verb overstretching into the international. Overstretch is a terminus technicus from the field of politics, study-wise, academic-wise. So river tea does exactly the opposite. It prepares for taking care of every debt gatherable from all over the world, which would be nice for you. But are you certain that you on your behalf are not blackmailable? So if you think you are, you might have an interest in getting those guys thwarted off that are able to blackmail you. This I cannot answer. So name-wise, I would do this, yeah. Former docents of mine, though. I think one name is shared between at least two. Burkhard, the family name I don't know. He's a jurist, and et al. Would also refer to jurists that I would shortly meet on parties 1992 following. So after I had visited each party once, I thought I know here enough and I would go elsewhere. For example, on circumcised one, yeah. So that was only possible. He was not a Jew. Me also not, as said. That was only possible upon me having written by myself in German criminal law the best result, and that result was diverted to other people that then would psychology, that then would develop an interest to what shall I say, to play with me or what. So I did not know anything of that that I could have been pawned over years, even or on several occasions. I did not know that, and this is of course objectively able to endanger someone on the one hand, and on the other hand to kind of invite someone into self-murder, which I did not do. And I'm also not calling here for getting somewhere eins auf die Schnauze, yeah, because people should recognize that it is really serious stuff, and no one can be certain what these people, having gathered earlier on, might have muddled out. So the reason why I did this is because so watch the videos after River Tea. It is tied to names, and in those longer videos you will find hints to certain cities. For example, to Qom, astoundingly, but it is arguable. To Al-Quds, yeah, Jerusalem, and now to Budapest. Why? Because Qom, I thought, would be an interesting choice that no one would come to for storing devices gathered with blackmail material on, for hosting a website, because Qom is so totally Islamic that no one would expect anything like that, and also parties or anything which is connected to that blackmailability capacities is not to be expected in a place like Qom in Iran. So this would be a total and intelligent choice to gather that. So I have already gathered that in a 12 ordered playlist. The playlists are being built one upon each other. It starts off with very personal matters that I'm here confronted with. Like I'm just sitting here on social welfare money, working as if possible, my flat juice ass off. The only pleasure that I have is mountain biking, but I still can do that. And I'm pondering about the question who might have done the arson of 2004. Um, Objectively apt to hinder my BA in Islamic studies. Previously I had studied law, but I don't have an exam, and I am not a lawyer indeed, but I would on those grounds call myself a paralegal, profiler and analyst. Indeed, I do. So, and connected to that arson, which is long over and objectively of no interest due to the time span, it still interests because the danger is not over, that I myself am blackmailable or simply killable and thereupon showable in totally, again, a different light, due to the fact that upon my entry into the youth organization of the CDU, would you believe that? Yeah, why not? In Lower Saxony, a small Ortsverband, Grafschaft Hoya, Weser. I might be deleted meantime, and long I was a Karteileiche. So after that, certain people, girls, classmates, former classmates, got a kind of, there also a disgruntledness. And then there was a build-up putting me into certain contexts that I could fit in. A whole range, yeah? Leftist, Islamism context, and rightist. So I would receive from a social context, which I have written off, certain hints and bits and pieces, each of which totally worthless, but able to psychologically overburden the mind and kind of irritate. As if they would do likewise, yeah. But I did not mean to irritate anyone just for the mere pleasure of it, and intending to disturb someone severely, but they surely did. It's the whole streak is in the text Genesis paragraphs 241a, including attempt of murder as TGB, and including paragraphs which would enable to lead criminal law cases even on Arabian British soil as the UAE, which I was on 2006 following. There again, there are certain recordings and certain texts of mine which would not have been produced without kind of British help, in inverted commas. So have you received that text? Just forget about it. What one can do with that is over. It is completely worthless. Unless one would have gathered media texts and would compare how and that a communication between me sitting on my laptop and the radio station and guys playing me music and telling me stories would have developed, and that it indeed had taken place. Only therefore it is worthwhile, otherwise forget it. Interesting are both my versions of the reconstruction of the core criminal complex, and also why not prior study texts, which I only wrote for the University of Erfurt. So, I've tried that already to certain people, and the aforementioned one might be the one that I met on a hitchhiking tour from Bremen, and he would stop at Aldi's. So there is one anecdote, and that could be resembled in the first letter of the city Budapest. Yeah, so the question here and the imagination might have been who was driving, who was sitting behind a side, and was there a side sitter, or was there at least one of those persons a ghost? And I strongly assume that already then the preparations had started to let me forever be just a ghost. Yeah, that can live on social welfare money, that can have a job here and there, but afterwards a cleanup team would come and erase everything, as if I had never lived on this world, but on the moon somewhere. Yeah, that's the basics. To that thought, however, does not fit that that one can read the 2006 following, let's say, incident, criminally relevant incident in the UAE, aroused some kind of attention and was meant as not as a not as a prosecution, or maybe yes, an extra legal and prosecution, a punishment for me having failed to take in the again dig, yeah, of the third love relationship of mine. Because had I done this, my lips even might have changed, my voice even might have been changeable, due to the influenceability of the Stimmbänder. Yeah, so if you yeah, either they are longer or they are higher, and then the voice gets higher and longer, and the voice is different, either more female or more male. So that attempt did fail, and I think I'm convinced certain people were really not amused about that, and would then think, well, what shall we do with her now? 2002, when I started Islamic studies here in Erfurt, and absorbed very good, 1.7 indeed, all on my own again, like the prior 13 points criminal law result. Yeah, they would take the arson as an invitation for, expectably though, me seeing off to the extra European even soil in order to do something there, which was done. So thought was, provide her with enough money, because my household was insured, and yeah, but it was totally infected by the Hungary Q and link connection. It was totally affected by mold. The place after the arson, which was in the flat above, so dirt water was running through the ceiling. 2 days after, the whole place, it was on a 1st of August 2004. The whole place was totally black of mold. So if you think of those beautifully Arabian horses, they start off as blacks, and then all of a sudden, after 3 years, they are all white. Yeah. So yeah, by the way, the logo of the Junge Union Germany, then 1989 or 90, was indeed black and white. It was white on black. By that time, due to my reconstruction, already a someone's so-called business scheme had been established, one must say. And it was just decades after that I would reconstruct a lot of relevance, stretching back as far as the World War II days. This would concern another ordered playlist. Yeah, it is named, so one can find it. Buda, pest, yeah, play around with letters and think what people might have thought. Maybe the idea of skating on ice is also of interest, because if you can't do it properly and want to drive backwards, you would form AIDS. Yeah, this is how you can move backwards, form AIDS. I was in Hamburg though, somewhere in end of 90s when the Binnenalster was frozen. And that anecdote is embedded in a whole weekend, and it is totally important, as I already could show in my text on feathers and ducks, a money laundering scheme. This can be found on my LinkedIn account. It was uploaded, I think, in 22. No, it was in 23. Maybe end of 23. It refers also to the Islamic culture, yeah, because of the RIA invention, which is a good thing, but of course everything, also the World Bank, can be misused. It was really a mere coincidence that I came to RIA. It was due to the fact that I didn't have money. And it, as I say in a Habeck video, not coining, but cueing also the name Scharnhorst, which is a name in our very small village with a very famous church, but only for those in the knows of architectural history. Yeah, in the connection to the Bremen Dom, ours is a Stiftskirche. Yeah, so that name Scharnhorst is a name in our village. There is a Bundeswehrkrankenhaus though, so when I shout into the phone that I don't want to unfold my legs in front of those very people, yeah, I wanted to call not Scharnhorst, I wanted to call Habeck for certain reasons, in order to give the impression here what you guys are covering up is really not so very much okay. I was not invited there too, yeah. 2007, I drove from the airport Frankfurt to Berlin. I took there a shower close by the station Zoo, and no one would listen. And I would stop though at the ground floor of the let's say only Auswärtigen Amt. What else comes to my mind? I think nothing much. This is not my work. Oh yes, yes, maybe this. It is also the question what kind of women are preferred and entertained, supported, and yeah, prior chosen. Yeah, maybe they would prefer indeed Turkish women or women that one could easily invite to convert to Islam, to then later let them be sounded what that might all mean. Yeah, albeit one would have chosen the Turkish law school, which enables for but it is Islamic. So those girls, upon certain undertakings that one don't really want to imagine, would be to let them wear skirts. For example, those plissé skirts. Yeah, those are the skirts with very much folders, Falten, like this here. This is a plissé. A plissé. Can you see it? I can move the phone, of course. This is, if one is honest, this is 50s. This is totally a 50s style. And think of Germany in the 50s and you arrive at a total Spießigkeit. And the need for money. And also you would arrive at unsportivity, yeah? So you would not expect women to sit on mountain bikes, as I still do. Which gives me a hint who is there behind, yeah? Maybe the jurist that I would contact at the latest end of 2007 when seeking help or just talking to anyone in the Erfurtian Staatsanwaltschaft. Yeah, that was a useless endeavor because due to computer criminality, I think I really was expected, and that was just a person later I would reconstruct that I had met on several occasions in my life. All would not turn out too well on my behalf. But I could not do anything because I did not know anything, I did not recognize anything, or later when I thought this and that, I then could not argue. Now I begin to start to argue and to point at certain problem fields and how one really could from the perspective of